guys to join together with us and sing Join Together. Let's just keep going. Go ahead. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. Brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. Sing out. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. Joy, 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 joined together, together in joy, 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 joined together, together in joy. Now let's sing about peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. Peace, 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 joined together, together in peace. Peace, 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 joined together, together in peace. Let's do love one more time. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. Love, 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 joined together, together in love. Love, 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 joined together, together in love. Everybody sing join together. Oh, join together. Oh, join together. Oh, join together, together in love. 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 Yeah, let's do that. Let's join together.
All right. Yes, here we are. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all out here. And hopefully we'll get more people here as things go by. And We realize we're going to get through this spiritually.
We're already through it spiritually. We just have to get through it physically.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Spiritually, we're fine. Spiritually, we're all right.
I just needed to point out to you that the governor has just recently mandated that your mask has to match your shirt.
It does.
Oh.
I've got the cowboy theme going.
No, that's not nowhere near that.
Anyway, we are really excited that you guys are here. We're excited that you're watching us online. For all of you that are joining us online, we'd like to remind you that you can share this on your social media outlets, whether you're sitting here in the room or you're at home, wherever you might be. You can share this right now as it's live and let people know this is happening. We'd also like to remind you that all of our past services stay on the particular platforms. So they're still on Facebook, they're still on YouTube. So if you want to go back and watch a favorite one, or you're thinking of one you'd like to share with a friend or family member, they're still on there. All you have to do is scroll back in time and you can see those, and you can watch those all over again. So that's something good to know.
Yeah, I'd like to suggest that you watch today's 9 a.m. service. So when you get home, make that something you want to do. And also, I want to say that we've been very fortunate now because you're still doing your Monday night meditation, right?
Yes.
At 5 o'clock, you can show up for that, but you're doing it on Zoom, right?
No, we stopped doing it on Zoom, so it's just in person at this point.
Just in person. Turn out because, you know, you're allowed to show up for that meditation. And you have your men's group. What time?
It's 7 p.m. on Mondays.
7 p.m. And then Wednesday night, Norm and I do a Wednesday night meditation. You want to really, through these difficult times, keep in touch so you can keep mindful of the fact that we are divine beings going through a physical expression. And if we're holding that beautiful truth, we will actually heal all the limitations that we're facing right now. That's how we're going to do it. Stay mindful of the power of God within you.
Well
Okay?
put. Yes. All right. We'll see you later.
Okay.
So you're all invited to sing along with us on this song, but if you don't know it or don't want to sing, that's fine too. Just enjoy. I am a child of this universe. The ocean dances at my feet. The wind plays a melody through my hair. I am loved at every turn. I am kissed by Mother Earth. I am a child of this universe. The sun warms me in its embrace. The stars have aligned for me in the sky. I am honored by all life. I am held by Father Time. Every blade of grass, every shaking leaf on a tree, every mountain top sings of the glory of God moving through me. I am a child of this universe. Through my breath, all of life can breathe. I plant the seeds with my every dream. I can love at every turn. Give a kiss to Mother Earth. I am a child of this universe. channel for peace to flow. Oh, I honor all of life. I am one with Father Time. To every blade of grass, to every shaking leaf on a tree, to every mountain top, I sing of the glory of God moving through all, moving as me, moving as you, moving as one.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity. It's nice to see you all sitting out there. Just the few of you that come, you have no idea how much that fills my heart. And for those of you that are joining us on live stream, we're so grateful that you're with us as well. And eventually you'll feel comfortable to come back and feel this wonderful community and be a part of it in the physical as well. Today, my talk is titled The Illusion of Control. And the talk came from a meditation that I had this week where I sat down and was just sitting and embracing Spirit's love, moving through my entire being and trying to get a semblance of peace in my soul. I've found that I am definitely taking on other people's burdens too much into my physicality and walking around in a fragmented version of myself. And so I was just feeling it, being it, visualizing it, and experiencing it. And while I was in that, I was having, a rolling of almost a film of the week of the phone calls and the group texts for prayers for all these different crises and people in hospitals that I'm handling, and, it just all of it. And I saw the mounting level of why I'm feeling this fragmented sense. I meditate every day, but I'm having a harder time staying at peace and in a spiritual focus with all that I'm being called to do as a human being. Yes, I am a spiritual being first, but I am also human. And while I was sitting in that place, I was recognizing how me taking all this on is starting to affect what is unraveling in my own personal life and how that's affecting the people around me. And then I got this extreme sense of peace when this message came to me. And it said this: everything that's happening to other people is none of your business. You can hold space for others, but their burdens are not yours. And I started to sit with that and ask myself, what does that mean? It's none of my business considering the work that I do, and yet it really isn't my business to take on the hurts and the anguishes that they're going through. But I am here to be a conduit of Spirit and as a mirror and a reminder of perfect health, perfect marriage, perfect life force. And I felt this sense of release in that feeling of it's none of my business is right. So I'm putting myself into these things more than I should be, almost probably to a dangerous level, without me being aware that I have been. And I realized that I am not God. I am a conduit of God, but I am not God. And I've always known that personally, but I see how people believe that people that stand on a platform somehow maybe have a closer relationship to God. So therefore, we will have the exact answers for an outpicturing of healing or a healed marriage, whatever the issues are that people are growing through. So if I'm not God, I'm a conduit of God. I can only give what I can express as God. And so there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance because that illusion of control is I don't have control of the outcomes for other people. I don't have control over outcomes in my own life. You know, they say the one thing that you can always be assured of is that, you know, change will always happen, whether you like it or not. And at this phase of life, we're all in change. And that doesn't exempt me or Jack or Shad or Erna or Josh or, you know, we're all living in this state of, we're very aware that change is taking place. And we're also all very aware how little control we have with the outcomes of what this change is going to be. But one thing we do know is that we can rest in the one power and the one light and the only being that truly does create and divinely guide outcomes, and that's God. That's Spirit. That's Source. And I know when I'm sitting in that meditative state and I'm feeling fragmented, I haven't been leaning into Source enough. I've been cut off, trying to scramble and try to do it from a human intellect and a loving heart that bleeds beyond to try to help everybody. And in the end, it's taking a toll on the personalities in my life and the people that look to me, especially my youngsters. So it makes me think of the Bible quote in Matthew 11 that says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Let's just sit with that, because that always just feels so good. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. This is really a time of letting go of expectations and a time of letting go of attachments. And I don't really think that there's anything more uncomfortable in the human condition as letting go of attachments and expectations. And sometimes it's on other people, circumstances outside of ourselves. I mean, there's a lot of circumstances outside of ourselves I'm sure many of us have big judgments on, and we'd like to make it be the way we would like it to be. But again, in Matthew 11, it's saying, "Come to me, weary one, and give me your burdens." Because you aren't going to be able to change all these things that are happening out here. The only power that has that will is God. Collectively, as consciousness, we can be a part of that. But fragmented versions of ourselves is not collectively connecting with the love that has to overtake the consciousness of all people in this world to create 7 generations down the road for our children and our grandchildren, for a land and water that prospers for all for a very long time. So I've been sitting with that, and I've been sitting with it for days, and I've had just a strange, energetic week. And today I woke up and had a really bad dream about tidal waves taking me away and carrying me away. And I was like, wow, Spirit, that's really inspirational when I have to go to the church and support people in, you know, getting up and getting to the joy of life. And what it made me do is I made a boundary for myself, and I said to my husband, you know what? I need to drive to work by myself today without the kids in the car talking. I never do that. You know, I can handle it all. I can handle all the noise of the kids that have not gone to school for 150 years at this point, and they're all around me, and the sermons are written with all that noise going on, and I just said, I need that 20-minute ride. And right then, I was standing in my kitchen, and I looked out my window, and there was this beautiful deer all by herself. And out where I live near Lyons, this herd of red deer with white cottontails, it's not the mule deer. Nobody knows where they came from, but they're just living right out by our house. And they're just magical. They look like Bambi. They've got the little dots and stuff when they're babies. And it's sitting there, and it's just so feminine and so beautiful, and it's looking right in my eyes. And I know it's God. I know it is, because it's just Spirit showing me the picture of this angelic, beautiful creature, reminding me of what's truly important. And then I went and grabbed all my stuff, and I went out the front door, and there she was standing there greeting me, eating the birdseed, and didn't even run away. She stayed there, and I walked past her, went to the car, shut the door, and she just stood there staring at me. And it was so beautiful. It was so reassuring that that is God showing up saying, I know the work you have to face today. I know you just made a boundary that you need a break from your kids for the ride there, and I'm going to give you this picture of pure peace, pure beauty, an expression of what God looks like in this world. So, Rupert Gethin says this: as long as there is attachment to things that are unstable, unreliable, changing, and impermanent, there will be suffering. When they change, when they cease to be what we want them to be, if craving is the cause of suffering, then the cessation of suffering will surely follow from the complete fading away and ceasing of that very craving. It's abandoning, relinquishing, releasing, and letting go. So it's, if craving is the cause of suffering, craving, which does sound like it would be just outer things like shopping and, fulfill, but craving for something outside of ourselves to plug the hole, to give us relief of peace in some way is what I'm thinking most of us are feeling. We are wanting to stop up the holes where we're feeling ourselves losing our life force and our joy and our happiness and our freedom and all of the things that we're feeling right now. So I found myself cleaning a lot, and my house is clean. I mean, it is so clean. Have you ever noticed yourself doing that? You just scrub that house because you can control that house is clean. Everything else isn't okay, but the house is clean. The one place my mom got in my car the other day and she goes, I cannot believe with all that you have to do, your car is this spotless. And I'm knowing in the back of my mind, this is a sign that mom is losing it, okay? But thank you. Because again, on the outside, I'm looking like I've got it together. The house is clean and the car is clean. But is Syntysche's spirit feeling clean, right? I mean, that's probably one of the more healthy ways of handling outer stress. I can think of many other ways that people do it. I have a woman that I used to counsel, and she'd say, I just lost it last night, and I dove into a bag of chocolate chip cookies, and I ate the whole thing. And she'd be all down on herself, and I'd say, if you were ever a counselor and sat with people and knew what the kind of things that they did when they felt out of control that night, that bag of cookies is really good for you. Good for you. It all has to do with perspective on life, right? So there's a great story from the Mahayana Buddhism that originates from China and Zen stories. They teach the traditions and the culture through these simple little ideas for us to understand how to go through life without being attached or having expectations. They usually illustrate a certain truth about life or human beings, and most of them require a certain time to ponder and go quiet and deep, sometimes hard to understand. But personally, I adore Zen stories, and you can always look them up. You could say Zen stories about attachment, Zen stories about forgiveness. And they're so simple, but they're so easy to apply to your life. So this one I had typed in that it was about attachment. And this one is called Maybe. Once upon a time, there was an old farmer who had worked his crops for many years. One day, his horse ran away. Upon hearing the news, his neighbors came to visit. Such bad luck, they said sympathetically. Maybe, the farmer replied. The next morning, the horse returned, bringing with it 3 other wild horses. How wonderful, the neighbors exclaimed. Maybe, replied the old man. The following day, his son tried to ride one of the untamed horses he was thrown and broke his leg. The neighbors again came to offer their sympathy on his misfortune, and he said, maybe, as the farmer. The day after, military officials came to the village to draft young men into the army. Seeing that the son's leg was broken, they passed him by. The neighbors congratulated the farmer on how well things had turned out. And again, his answer was, maybe. This story is about non-judgment and non-attachment. In the story, we can see how non-judgmental the farmer is, unlike us. Unfortunately, we are used to divide events in our life into good or bad. We judge everything we go through and give it a certain label. We are basically like the neighbors who visit the farmer. We don't fully understand the notion of interdependence. In fact, the farmer demonstrates the reality of this life. All is interconnected. There is no good or bad. Life is a set of different cycles that occur at different stages in our life. However, it's not about the incident that takes place, it's about our perception of it. Like the farmer, I think we should practice non-judgment and refrain from labeling events. Not only is the teaching non-judgment, but also everything happens for a reason. And I know that that's hard to take right now. I know that that's hard for me to take right now with things that I'm seeing, the unjust, the unfair, the untrue. And yet, everything is in divine order, regardless of what's happening in the world. And I'm just being honest with you, I've gotten signed up with the world. I've taken on the burdens of the world, and I've had a hard time releasing them this week. So, there's a thing that I've been sharing with you ever since this pandemic started that's brought me lots of joy, and it's hummingbirds. You're probably wondering why these hummingbirds are everywhere. I have this little porch that sits right outside the front of my house, and where I sit and I write, I've got my bird feeders, and I've got a hummingbird feeder. And I go through like a whole thing of syrup like every day. They just love my syrup. I mean, I do give them extra sugar because they're just extra sugar in my life. They're just like the best ever because I make their own blend. And all my neighbors don't get any hummingbirds, and it bothers them. And I don't tell them my trick, that I am dosing these guys with sugar. They love my spot because they make me so happy. I just love the little ways that they handle the different breeds. They actually have conflict, and they kind of fight sometimes who gets to use it. And I have this pine tree that sits, and it will be filled with hundreds of hummingbirds waiting for their chances, then the dance that they do to go and use the feeder. But recently, and this happened last year too, wasps appear. The wasps are big right now, and they sit on the hummingbird, and they scare my hummingbirds. And they go after them, and I actually saw one got stung about a week ago. No, it was early this week, and it flew away like it was kind of like drunk and hurt. And I was really mad. Like I was really frustrated with those wasps because I'm attached to my hummingbirds, and I feel like I'm a protector of them because I'm feeding them, and we have this wonderful relationship. When their syrup is gone, I can get home and know that it's gone before I even see it because they come and they swarm me around my car. They let me know, you have let us down. We have gone a whole 10 minutes without some syrup, and I go rushing in there and I get it just right. So I take care of my little birds. So I was sitting and I was analyzing myself about the wasps and why is this agitating me so much? Like this is, I don't know. Mike, are they wasps or yellow jackets? Wasps. I don't know what difference that would. It would actually change my sermon, so you better watch yourself, sir. And so I'm sitting with it, and I realized that I'm trying to control nature. I'm trying to control something. I mean, I always wash it really, really good, so they kind of leave it alone until the drips of the honey comes off their beak, and then they want to sit around it and drink it. So I looked up the animal totem of wasp because I needed to check out, maybe there's something about the wasp that I need to take a little check-in about. I already went by that one. Wasp. Believe that everything happens for a reason, and you are going through them because they will bring you closer to your goals. In some cultures, the wasp meaning is a symbol of control over your life circumstances. Hello. It also signifies evolution, progress, development, and order. See, I love looking up the animals and what they're trying to say to you. And I like also being in awareness that I watch, that they have something to say to me. I didn't just let the wasps annoy me. I wanted to figure out what do they represent. And it's about getting closer to my goals, which is really good, but it's also about control and letting go of control. So then I looked up my hummingbirds, which I've shared this before, because this is what I do relate with very much, which is the hummingbird spirit appears out of nowhere, bearing gifts of joy and happiness. See, that's where I want to sit. I want to sit in joy and happiness, bringing with it an air of magic in your life. It's a symbol of good things. When your spirit animal is the hummingbird, you share its traits of being small but strong. You're also courageous, determined, flexible, and adaptable. Now, I would like to be a little bit smaller, but I am strong. COVID's not been my best friend. Okay, so when we get back to wasp and hummingbird, something had to evolve. And this is what I realize is that everything is happening for a reason right now. And I have to trust that, right? I'm in the midst of writing my sermon. I've had this meditation where everything that's happening to somebody else is none of your business. Because you are a conduit of God. You are not God. But I'd rather sit in the default nature of joy and happiness. And I like the magic aspect of it too. But the wasp had a place as well. If you want real control, drop the illusion of control. Let life live you. It does anyway. So bring to mind an area that you've been trying to mentally control or even physically control that feels like it's out of reach, and you recognize that the only control you have is to surrender and relax into the not knowing and give your burden to God. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that make you feel like you're let off the hook of all this pressure and heaviness that we're walking around carrying? Right? It's all made up by us. That we have to figure out all the problems of the world right now. Oh my gosh, that's a really big task. Obviously, we all need to vote, clearly, and be very informed and do what we need to do, but we have to stay within peace even in the face of all of this and surrender that everything is still in divine order. So I'm going to share a video from a cute cartoon called Kung Fu Panda. And unfortunately, those of you on live stream will not be able to watch it because we can't share it, but it gives a little semblance of what this is about.
Master, I have, it's very bad news.
Shifu, there is just news. There is no good or bad.
Master, your vision was right. Tai Lung has broken out of prison. He's on his way.
people. We can't seem to figure out how to get licensing to do that. I used to show them all the time. So you must believe, and I thought this was really important, the visual of the end where you have to go on without me. And the master is the teacher. The master is your spiritual teachers, the people that are guiding you to the greater good that lives within you. But in the end, the work of any master, teacher, yoga instructor, in the end, it's to hand it to you. To have faith that the knowledge that's within that teacher is you too. That you don't so solely depend on your teachers to fill the gaps for you, but to remind you that you are the same power that they are. That the minister's prayers aren't stronger than the prayers that you will hold for yourself and others. We don't have a special relationship with God that you don't have. Sometimes you just need to call your friends when you're having a tough time. Sometimes you just need to call and just ask for help. Sometimes we have a hard time doing that. We'll be quick to help others, but we don't know how to ask for just a conversation, just to bring out into the light that which is fragmented and broken right now while we're moving through deep, deep times within ourselves and in this world. In Love Without Conditions, Paul Ferrini says, "You see what you choose to see because all perception is a choice. And when you cease to impose your meanings on what you see, your spiritual eyes will open, and you will see a world free of judgment and shining in its endless beauty. The shackles of earth will fall away, and you will be free to ascend to your place amongst the brightest stars. There you will look down on earth as I do now, and you will say with compassion, 'There I walked too when I was afraid, and learned to walk through all my fears.' It is a holy place, a place where every enemy became a friend, and every friend a brother and a teacher. It is a holy land where the dream of death and separation came to an end. I feel privileged to have taken the journey and happy to be home at last. Then you will know that you did not have to take the journey to be saved. You could have stayed home without any taint on your innocence. But had you not taken the journey, you would not have known your innocence as I know it and as your father, mother does." So what this is saying is that we have to go out. We have to go out on the ledge, out of the comfort and through our fear, through the angst, through the hardship, to be reminded of the innocence that we are. For deeper compassion and love for the soul that we are, that we're traveling as. And once we know that, we don't have to go through so many of the peaks and the valleys, but can ride this life, which is a storm, and find the eye of it, and no longer let it throw us to and fro, but merely observe it changing and growing and being whatever it's supposed to be. As things fall away, we let them fall away. And if they're supposed to come back, they will. That's so easily said. But when we really learn that, we will live in a place where as it falls away from a spiritual virtue, we know we can't wait to see the good that is going to come from this. Affirming that. So observing that something's falling away, and it's even okay to feel the grief and the sorrow of it falling away. But then lifting up and giving our burden to God and going, I can't wait to see the good that's going to come from this. The gold we are looking for is deep inside of us. in our ability to see and hear what we had not seen or heard before. That is the work that we need to do now. Not so much to ask for new experiences, but to ask ourselves if we are making the most of the experiences we are already having. I love that. And Paul Ferrini says it with this, and I'm going to close here. Gentle brother and sister, I ask only for your trust. Give it to me, and we shall walk together out of this place of shadows. I cannot protect you from facing your fears, but I can take your hand as you do so. I don't think I can read that one, so you guys can just read it. Rest easy. The outcome of your journey is guaranteed. Where I am now, you shall also be. And then you will know with absolute certainty that love is who you are. It has never been born in you, nor has it died in you. It is inseparable from you. It is your only identity. I watched an incredible documentary yesterday. It's called Mucho, Mucho Amor. And it's a documentary about a famous astrologer from Puerto Rico named Walter Mercado. He was this extravagant, looked like Liberace kind of a character, was very connected to his male and female at a time that'd be very much not accepted. And he was huge. He was so famous, unbelievable. And then he lost everything because somebody stole his identity. But who this being is in this documentary of just accepting what is. Accepting that life is beautiful. Everything is love. I really highly recommend it. But one of the things that stuck with me that he said at the very end of the documentary, he said, live each day as if it's your first. And every day, be the best version of yourself. We'll take an offering for unity now.
What a beautiful talk. What a beautiful way to remember how to live life truthfully, fully, and successfully. So freely we have received this beautiful insight that we can carry with us. It makes all the difference in life and in the world. So with gratitude in our hearts, we're going to take our offering in our hands. And those of you that are watching this at home, we also invite you to bring to mind what it is you'd like to give to Unity of Boulder, that we can continue to do the ministry and the work that we do here. So as we take our offerings in our hands, let's bless them with this offering statement. From the heart, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive because I give. Thank you. Oh, Winnie Goose is going to sing for us. Do you need the podium?
No.
Okay.
This song is by the late, great Eva Cassidy, and it's one of my favorites.
Sometimes it amazes me how strong the power of love can be. Sometimes you just take my breath away. watch my love grow like a child, sometimes gentle and sometimes wild. Sometimes you just take my breath away, and it's too good to slip by, too good to lose, too good to be there just to use. I'm gonna stand up on a mountain top and tell the news that you take my breath away. Sometimes it amazes me how strong the power of love can be. Sometimes you just take my breath away. Your beauty is there in all I see. Oh, when I feel your eyes on me, oh, don't you know you just take my breath away. And it's too good to slip by, too good to lose, too good to be there just to use. I'm gonna stand up on a mountain top and tell the news that you take my breath away. And it's too good to slip by, too good to lose, too good to be there just to use. I'm gonna stand up on a mountain top and tell the news that you take my breath away. Oh, yes, you take my breath away. Thank you.
Somebody's dog hair got up here, and it's driving me crazy through that whole thing. Wait, I'm going to put it next to you. Thank you, Rennie. That's my little girl, my oldest kid. My goodness, there's nothing quite like that. All right, are we going to close with the closing benediction? Let's all rise and close with our closing song. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release.
I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Yeah.
And so it is.
Thank you for joining us.
We will be out
great.
front in just a minute. If you want to do some social time out front, we'll be out there
Yeah.
to share with you.
We'll have some fellowship on the steps. Want to invite all your people on the screen. Come on in next week. We got plenty of room for you.
I love you.
Great talk, Miss Mouse. Beautiful.